Can I get a countdown? 10!
I'm weird. I'm rubber.
I want to be the greatest actor that ever lived.
It's that, and it's an addiction. Better things happen.
The actress being accused of illegally obtaining.
Artist was found dead in her Sherman Oaks, California home.
Everything you gain in life will rot and fall apart.
Twitter is now slamming Jim Carrey.
I've decided to be there. I only act in the movies.
If Jim Carrey left you confused, you're not alone. In the span of 30 years, he's really been putting on one hell of a show. But why is he so complicated?
If you go deep enough into those characters, you realize that your own character is pretty thin to begin with. And then you suddenly have this separation and go, well, who's Jim Carrey?
Let's rewind to 1962, Newmarket, Canada. Jim Carrey's comedy journey began here, but it didn't feel like a walk in the park.
You grew up in a car. I like that music. Keep it going.
You see, Jim's family wasn't your typical sitcom family. His mom was constantly complaining about her health, which spooked little Jim.
And she was depressed, and I wanted her to be free. And I wanted her to realize that her life was worth something.
And instead of watching cartoons, Jim and his brother put in a solid 8 hours working as janitors and security guards at a factory to help their struggling father.
And a lot of people don't know this, but when I was about 14 or 15, my father lost his job, and I actually became homeless for quite some time. Of course, I grew up in Canada, so I thought we had just gone camping.
Amidst all this chaos, Jim had one dream: to become a comedian.
Somebody stop me!
So, young Jim was an ordinary guy with ordinary dreams: success, fame, and money.
4 years ago, I used to go up to Mulholland Drive and I used to say, I had this and that and this. Oh, it's all good and it's coming to me.
Can't blame him for this. My dreams are quite ordinary too.
I literally spent, every night of my life for about 4 years on Mulholland Drive after I do the comedy clubs, manifesting my life.
Jim mentioned that he wasn't chasing after glitter fancy stuff. He simply wanted to be excellent at what he did, one of a kind.
And I actually wrote myself a check, and this is for real. This is not a joke. This is for real. I wrote myself a check for $10 million per picture. This is by Thanksgiving 1995.
The future came earlier and brighter than he expected.
Just before Thanksgiving 1995, I found out that I was going to make $10 million on, I think it was Dumb and Dumber. Maybe.
Dumb and Dumber, yeah.
Today's Jim talks about money differently. I think everybody should get rich and famous and do everything they ever dreamed of so they can see that it's not the answer. Of course, money's not the answer, but today's Jim knows for sure what money can do. I'll come back to this later. Now, you know what? I want to talk about it now.
I've often said that I wished people could realize all their dreams and wealth and fame, and so that they could see that it's not where you're going to find your sense of completion.
In fact, I totally agree with Jim Philosopher. Of course, money is not the main thing. This becomes especially clear when your net worth is $180 million.
I'm the proof that you can ask the universe for it.
Let me sum up here what Jim retires with. A few things can be as comforting as a white male movie star lecturing about money's trivial nature. And Carrey has got some. From multi-million-dollar homes to an impressive car collection, including a Mercedes-AMG and a Porsche Panamera, and even owning a Gulfstream V private jet valued at a whopping $59 million. Only 100 of these jets are actively in service today. Fun fact, guess who else owns a Gulfstream? Elon Musk recently added a new aircraft to his private fleet.
And it looks great when you got a cool car and you got good, nice clothes. And
Speaking of Jim's financial prowess, he's not just about spending on himself. He's a true philanthropist. He donated $1 million to 9/11 attack victims and another $1 million to the Paris terror attack victims in 2015. He once organized a raffle for a $40,000 Chevrolet Blazer RS as a gesture of appreciation to his movie crew. Now that's some serious generosity. But let us remind you of a couple of numbers. 180 million. It seems to me like we shouldn't worry too much about Jim's secure old age. Carrey talked a lot about what his mission is. I want to be a positive force in the world. I'd like to make people happy, Jim shared once. But did the comedian serve this idea in his personal life?
To a new lawsuit facing Jim Carrey. The actor's being accused of illegally obtaining and giving his former girlfriend the painkillers she later used to take her own life.
I'm talking about Jim's ex-girlfriend back then. At the time, Cathriona White.
The 30-year-old makeup artist was found dead in her Sherman Oaks, California home nearly a year ago.
Here's a troubling note written by his ex-girlfriend 2 years before committing suicide. You gave me HSV and HPV. I want you to apologize for it because you care enough to. You introduced me to cocaine, prostitutes, mental abuse, and disease, Cathriona wrote. Years later, the lawsuit against Jim Carrey was dismissed, but this situation left many questions. Here's one more questionable episode. Remember Jim Carrey's calling for justice in that Chris Rock Will Smith slapping incident in 2022? Carrey said Smith should have been escorted out of the Oscar ceremony for what he did.
You do not have the right to walk up on stage and smack somebody in the face because they said words.
But hold on, rewind to the 1997 MTV Movie Awards and you'll find a clip of Carrey forcibly kissing a young Alicia Silverstone. And that's not all. He even attempted to French kiss another actor during the same ceremony. Guess whom? Yes, Will Smith. Talk about a twist, right? This footage obviously didn't age well.
Twitter is now slamming Jim Carrey, calling him a hypocrite.
And sure, maybe Jim didn't mean it that way. But what we're seeing is that Jim has shown time and time again that he will go to great lengths just to entertain the audience. Be it a pseudo-philosophy, contradictory statements, or assault on privacy.
Well, I'm retiring, but
No.
yeah, probably.
That same year, Jim announced loudly that he's retiring. He knows how to keep everyone on their toes.
And this is something you might never hear another celebrity say as long as time exists. I have enough. I've done enough. I am enough.
Jim aspired to be a one-of-a-kind comedian and now strives to be a one-of-a-kind celebrity who retires like no other, as long as time exists.
I'm kind of excited about the idea of, really kind of getting into my art and throwing some paint on a canvas, and I'll be putting them on NFTs. And
so we're about to see if Jim will become a one-of-a-kind artist. It seems that we're overthinking how deep Jim actually is. Some things shouldn't be complicated.
I want to be frighteningly normal.
Okay.
Maybe he is simply a showman, relentlessly trying to grab our attention by any means possible.
I was just building something that people would like, but it was a character.
At the end of the day, he said it a long time ago. Always wanted to be an entertainer, so maybe he's playing his part all the way.
Who's Jim Carrey? Oh, he doesn't exist, actually.